3 brutal Stoic rules that will rebuild your mind, body, and heart. Stoicism Motivation. 2026. Stoicism. 1. Embrace discomfort because comfort is making you weak. Imagine a young man standing at a crossroads. One road is smooth, comfortable, and familiar. The other is steep, uncertain, and demanding. Like most people, he is naturally drawn toward the easier path. It promises less effort and fewer risks. It offers immediate comfort and temporary relief. Yet deep inside, he feels something troubling. He knows the easy road is not leading him where he wants to go. He knows there is a stronger version of himself waiting somewhere beyond the challenges he keeps avoiding. This story is not only about that young man. It is about all of us. Every person faces this crossroads countless times throughout life. The decision appears in small moments. It appears when the alarm clock rings early in the morning. It appears when you must choose between exercising and staying in bed. It appears when you have an opportunity to learn a new skill but decide to procrastinate instead. It appears when you need to have a difficult conversation but choose silence because it feels safer. These moments seem insignificant, but they quietly shape your future. Your life is not built by one grand decision. It is built by thousands of small choices between comfort and growth. The Stoics understood something that modern society often forgets. Comfort is not always a blessing. In excess, it becomes a trap. It lulls people into complacency. It convinces them that avoiding difficulty is the key to happiness. Yet the more a person avoids discomfort, the less capable they become of handling life's inevitable challenges. Eventually, even minor setbacks begin to feel overwhelming. Small obstacles create anxiety. Small criticisms create emotional distress. Small inconveniences create frustration. The person who constantly seeks comfort slowly becomes weaker without realizing it. Consider the life of a blacksmith. Steel does not become strong by being protected from fire. It becomes strong because it enters the fire repeatedly. The intense heat shapes it. The hammer strikes refine it. The pressure transforms it. Human character develops in much the same way. Challenges reveal strengths that comfort can never uncover. Adversity forces growth. Resistance develops resilience. Hardship teaches lessons that ease cannot provide. The very experiences we try hardest to avoid are often the experiences that shape us most profoundly. Many people look at successful individuals and assume they possess special advantages. They see confidence and assume confidence came naturally. They see discipline and assume discipline was easy. They see strength and assume strength was inherited. What they fail to see are the countless moments of discomfort hidden behind every achievement. They do not see the early mornings. They do not see the sacrifices. They do not see the failures, setbacks, and disappointments. They only see the final result. Yet every remarkable accomplishment is built upon a foundation of difficult choices. There is a dangerous belief that happiness comes from eliminating all discomfort. The Stoics strongly disagreed. They believed fulfillment comes from becoming the kind of person who can handle discomfort with courage. Life will always contain uncertainty. It will always contain obstacles. It will always contain pain. You cannot control whether challenges appear, but you can control how you respond to them. This response determines whether difficulties become sources of suffering or opportunities for growth. Marcus Aurelius regularly reminded himself that obstacles are not interruptions to life. They are part of life. This perspective changes everything. Instead of asking why challenges are happening, begin asking what they are teaching. Instead of complaining about resistance, begin appreciating the opportunity to become stronger. Every obstacle contains hidden value. Every setback carries a lesson. Every hardship presents an opportunity to practice patience, courage, wisdom, or self-control. Think back to one of the most difficult periods of your life. At the time, you probably wished it would end immediately. You may have questioned why it was happening. You may have felt frustrated, exhausted, or discouraged. Yet if you look back honestly, you may discover that period taught you something valuable. Perhaps it revealed strength you didn't know you possessed. Perhaps it taught you resilience. Perhaps it taught gratitude. Perhaps it forced you to develop skills that later became essential. Often, our greatest growth comes from seasons we never would have chosen for ourselves. The problem is that most people only recognize the value of hardship after it has passed. During the struggle, they focus exclusively on the pain. They fail to see the transformation taking place beneath the surface. Growth often feels uncomfortable because growth requires change. And change requires leaving behind familiar habits, familiar excuses, and familiar limitations. The process is rarely pleasant, but the results can be extraordinary. Imagine two people facing the same challenge. One avoids it whenever possible. The other confronts it directly. Years later, their lives look completely different. The person who avoided challenges remains trapped by fear and uncertainty. The person who faced challenges has developed confidence, competence, and resilience. The difference was not talent. The difference was their willingness to embrace discomfort. This principle applies to every area of life. If you want a stronger body, discomfort is required. Muscles grow through resistance. If you want a stronger mind, discomfort is required. Learning demands effort. If you want a stronger heart, discomfort is required. Healing requires confronting pain rather than running from it. Growth always asks for something in return. It asks for effort, patience, and courage. One of the greatest lies people tell themselves is, "I'll start when I feel ready." They wait for confidence before taking action. They wait for motivation before pursuing goals. They wait for fear to disappear before making changes. Unfortunately, readiness rarely arrives first. Action comes first. Confidence follows action. Courage follows action. Growth follows action. The Stoics understood this truth. They knew that waiting for perfect conditions was simply another form of avoidance. Every day presents an opportunity to strengthen yourself. The opportunity may appear in simple forms. Waking up when the alarm sounds. Finishing a difficult task. Exercising despite fatigue. Remaining calm during frustration. Speaking honestly when honesty feels uncomfortable. These moments seem small, but they are powerful. They are the building blocks of character. They are the training sessions that prepare you for larger challenges in the future. Discipline becomes especially important during difficult seasons. Motivation is emotional. Discipline is intentional. Motivation changes from day to day. Discipline remains. The Stoics placed enormous value on discipline because they understood that feelings are unreliable guides. Some mornings you will feel inspired. Other mornings you will feel tired, discouraged, or unmotivated. If your actions depend entirely on emotions, your progress will always be inconsistent. Discipline allows you to continue moving forward regardless of how you feel. There will be moments when growth feels slow. You will wonder whether your efforts matter. You will question whether the sacrifices are worth it. During these moments, remember that transformation is often invisible before it becomes visible. A tree spends years developing roots before significant growth appears above the ground. Likewise, your daily acts of discipline are building foundations that may not be immediately visible. Trust the process. Continue showing up. The strongest people are not those who never experience fear. They are those who act despite fear. They are not people who never encounter obstacles. They are people who refuse to surrender when obstacles appear. Strength is not the absence of struggle. Strength is the ability to continue despite struggle. This distinction is crucial because it removes the unrealistic expectation that life should always feel easy. Many people believe they need extraordinary opportunities to change their lives. In reality, transformation usually begins with ordinary decisions repeated consistently. One disciplined morning. One difficult conversation. One healthy habit. One courageous action. Over time, these seemingly small choices create extraordinary results. The gap between who you are and who you could become is often bridged by consistent daily actions rather than dramatic moments. As you continue on your journey, remember this powerful Stoic lesson. Growth begins where comfort ends. Every challenge you face is offering an opportunity to become stronger. Every obstacle contains a lesson. Every setback carries hidden value. The discomfort you experience today may be preparing you for victories you cannot yet imagine. Do not run from difficulty. Learn from it. Do not fear hardship. Use it. Do not seek the easiest path. Seek the path that helps you become the person you were meant to be. Years from now, you may look back on this season of your life and realize that the challenges you once hated were actually shaping your future. The struggles that tested you were strengthening you. The obstacles that frustrated you were teaching you. The discomfort you wanted to escape was building the resilience you would eventually need. Nothing was wasted. Every challenge served a purpose. So when life becomes difficult, remember the wisdom of the Stoics. Stand firm. Accept the challenge. Embrace the discomfort. Continue moving forward one step at a time. Because every time you choose growth over comfort, you are rebuilding your mind. Every time you choose discipline over excuses, you are rebuilding your body. Every time you choose courage over fear, you are rebuilding your heart. And with every choice, you become stronger than you were the day before. 2. Stop seeking validation from people who cannot save you. Imagine carrying a heavy chain around your neck every single day. At first, the weight feels manageable. You barely notice it. But as the years pass, the chain becomes heavier and heavier. It affects the way you walk, the way you think, and the way you see yourself. The strange thing is that nobody forced this chain upon you. You built it yourself, one link at a time. Every time you depended on someone else's approval to feel worthy, another link was added. Every time you allowed criticism to define your value, another link was added. Every time you sacrificed your authenticity to gain acceptance, another link was added. Eventually, the chain became so heavy that you forgot what freedom felt like. This invisible chain affects millions of people. Some spend their lives trying to impress family members who never seem satisfied. Others constantly seek approval from friends, coworkers, or strangers. Many become trapped by the endless pursuit of recognition on social media. They measure their worth through likes, comments, followers, and praise. They feel confident when approval arrives and insecure when it disappears. Their emotional state rises and falls according to the opinions of others. Without realizing it, they surrender control of their happiness. The Stoics recognized this problem thousands of years ago. Human nature has not changed. People still desire acceptance. They still fear rejection. They still seek recognition. Yet the Stoics taught that building your identity around other people's opinions is one of the fastest ways to lose your peace of mind. Why? Because other people's thoughts are beyond your control. You cannot control how someone interprets your actions. You cannot control whether someone understands your intentions. You cannot control whether someone approves of your choices. If your happiness depends on these things, your happiness will always be fragile. Imagine a young man who dreams of starting his own business. He has ideas, passion, and determination. Yet every time he thinks about taking action, he worries about what people might say. What if he fails? What if people laugh at him? What if friends criticize him? What if family members doubt him? Months pass. Then years pass. The dream remains trapped inside his mind. Not because he lacks ability, but because he fears judgment more than he values growth. This story is repeated every day across the world. Countless dreams died because people give more power to opinions than to their own potential. Marcus Aurelius understood this danger. As one of the most powerful men in the world, he faced criticism constantly. No matter what decision he made, someone disagreed. No matter how hard he worked, someone complained. No matter how noble his intentions were, someone misunderstood him. He realized that trying to please everyone was impossible. The moment you attempt to satisfy every person, you lose yourself. Instead of living according to your values, you begin performing for an audience. Think about how exhausting that can be. Imagine constantly monitoring your behavior to avoid criticism. Imagine filtering every decision through the question, "What will people think?" Eventually, you stop living your own life. You become an actor playing a role designed to gain approval. The tragedy is that even after all this effort, criticism still arrives. People still judge. People still misunderstand. people still form opinions that have little connection to reality. The Stoics taught a different approach. They encouraged individuals to focus on character rather than reputation. Character is what you truly are. Reputation is what other people think you are. Character belongs to you. Reputation belongs to others. Character is under your control. Reputation is not. This distinction is incredibly important because it shifts your attention toward what actually matters. Imagine two people. The first spends all their energy managing appearances. They want everyone to think highly of them. The second spends their energy developing wisdom, discipline, honesty, and courage. Years later, who do you think enjoys greater peace? The answer is obvious. The person focused on character possesses something solid and dependable. The person focused on appearances remains vulnerable to every opinion and every criticism. One reason people seek validation is because they fear rejection. Rejection feels painful because it threatens our sense of belonging. Yet the Stoics understood something powerful. Rejection does not determine your worth. It only reflects another person's preferences, beliefs, or circumstances. A person can reject your idea without rejecting your value. They can disagree with your choices without diminishing your character. They can criticize your actions without defining who you are. Many of history's greatest individuals faced rejection repeatedly. Inventors were told their ideas were impossible. Writers were told their work lacked value. Leaders were criticized relentlessly. If these people had allowed rejection to determine their worth, their contributions would never have existed. Their success required the courage to continue despite disapproval. Consider how much energy people waste worrying about what others think. They replay conversations in their minds. They analyze comments repeatedly. They lose sleep over criticism. They alter their behavior to avoid judgment. Yet the people whose opinions they fear are often preoccupied with their own concerns. They are thinking about their own problems, their own insecurities, and their own challenges. The spotlight you imagine shining on you is often far less intense than you believe. The Stoics encouraged regular self-reflection. Instead of asking whether others approve of you, ask whether you approve of yourself. Did you act with integrity? Did you remain true to your values? Did you demonstrate courage when courage was required? Did you treat others with fairness and respect? These questions matter far more than public approval because they focus on character rather than popularity. There is a profound freedom that emerges when you stop seeking validation. You begin speaking more honestly. You begin making decisions based on principles rather than popularity. You begin pursuing goals because they matter to you, not because they impress others. Your confidence becomes internal rather than external. It becomes rooted in your actions rather than other people's reactions. This freedom does not mean becoming arrogant or ignoring feedback. Stoicism does not encourage stubbornness. Wise individuals remain open to learning. They listen to constructive criticism. They consider different perspectives. But they do not surrender their self-worth to public opinion. They evaluate feedback carefully and then decide whether it aligns with truth and reason. Imagine waking up tomorrow completely free from the need for approval. Imagine posting your work without fearing judgment. Imagine pursuing your goals without worrying about criticism. Imagine expressing your authentic thoughts without constantly seeking validation. How different would your life look? How many opportunities would you pursue? How many fears would disappear? How much peace would enter your mind? The truth is that most people never achieve this freedom because they underestimate how deeply validation seeking is embedded in their behavior. It influences career choices, relationships, personal goals, and daily decisions. It quietly shapes entire lives. Yet once you become aware of it, you can begin changing it. Awareness is the first step toward liberation. One of the most powerful Stoic practices is remembering that life is short. Years pass quickly. Opportunities disappear. Time never returns. When viewed from this perspective, spending your life seeking approval seems tragic. Why waste precious years trying to satisfy people whose opinions constantly change? Why sacrifice your authentic self to meet expectations that can never fully be satisfied? At the end of your life, you will not ask whether everyone approved of you. You will ask whether you lived courageously. You will ask whether you remained faithful to your principles. You will ask whether you used your gifts and opportunities wisely. These questions reveal what truly matters. The brutal truth is that many people whose approval you seek cannot save you. They cannot live your life. They cannot face your challenges. They cannot carry your responsibilities. They cannot fulfill your purpose. Only you can do those things. Seeking their validation gives them power they were never meant to possess. When you finally release the need for constant approval, something extraordinary happens. Your confidence grows. Your peace deepens. Your decisions become clearer. You stop living as a reflection of other people's expectations and start living according to your own values. The chain begins to break. Link by link you reclaim your freedom. So remember this Stoic lesson whenever criticism arrives. Remember it whenever doubt appears. Remember it whenever you feel tempted to change yourself simply to gain approval. Focus on your character. Focus on your values. Focus on becoming the best version of yourself. Let others think what they will. Their opinions cannot define you unless you allow them to. The moment you stop seeking validation from people who cannot save you is the moment you begin reclaiming your power. It is the moment you begin rebuilding your mind. It is the moment you begin strengthening your heart. And it is the moment you start living with a level of freedom that few people ever experience. 3. Accept pain as the price of becoming extraordinary. Imagine a young man standing alone in a storm. The rain is falling heavily. The wind is pushing against him with relentless force. Every instinct tells him to turn around and run back towards safety. He looks ahead and sees only darkness. He cannot see the destination. He cannot see the reward waiting beyond the storm. All he knows is that every step forward feels difficult. Most people would turn back. Most people would decide the struggle is not worth it. Most people would convince themselves that comfort is better than growth. But the Stoics would tell him to keep walking. Not because pain is enjoyable. Not because suffering is noble by itself. But because some of life's greatest rewards can only be reached by those who are willing to endure temporary hardship. This lesson is difficult because modern society constantly promises easy solutions. People are told they can achieve success without sacrifice, confidence without discipline, and happiness without struggle. Yet reality tells a different story. Every meaningful achievement demands a price. Every worthwhile goal requires effort. Every transformation requires discomfort. The Stoics understood that pain is not necessarily a sign that something is wrong. Sometimes pain is evidence that growth is taking place. Just as muscles ache when they are becoming stronger, the human spirit often experiences discomfort when it is developing resilience, wisdom, and character. Think about a seed buried beneath the soil. If the seed could speak, it might describe its situation as terrible. It is surrounded by darkness. Pressure exists on every side. It cannot see sunlight. It cannot understand what is happening. Yet what appears to be destruction is actually transformation. The seed must break before it can grow. The same principle applies to people. Many of the painful experiences you have endured were not designed to destroy you. They were designed to transform you. The challenge is that transformation rarely feels comfortable while it is happening. There are moments in life when everything seems to fall apart. A relationship ends unexpectedly. A career opportunity disappears. A trusted friend betrays you. A dream you've spent years pursuing suddenly collapses. During these moments, it is easy to believe life is being unfair. It is easy to become bitter. It is easy to give up. The Stoics encouraged a different response. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" ask, "What is this teaching me?" That single question can change your life. Pain often carries lessons that comfort could never provide. Comfort rarely teaches patience. Comfort rarely teaches courage. Comfort rarely teaches gratitude. Comfort rarely teaches resilience. Pain teaches all of these things. Many people spend years trying to avoid pain at all costs. They avoid difficult conversations. They avoid emotional risks. They avoid ambitious goals. They avoid situations where failure is possible. Unfortunately, by avoiding pain, They also avoid growth. They create lives that feel safe but unfulfilled. They protect themselves from disappointment, but also protect themselves from greatness. The Stoics believe that courage is not the absence of fear. Courage is the decision to move forward despite fear. In the same way, strength is not the absence of pain. Strength is the ability to continue despite pain. Consider the life of a blacksmith. Every piece of steel must endure intense heat before it becomes useful. The fire is not an accident. The fire is part of the process. The hammer strikes are not punishment. They are preparation. Without heat, the steel remains weak. Without pressure, it remains ordinary. Without resistance, it never reaches its potential. Human beings are remarkably similar. The struggles you face today may be preparing you for responsibilities you cannot yet imagine. The hardships you endure today may be developing qualities that will become essential tomorrow. What feels like suffering now may eventually become one of the greatest gifts you ever received. Many of the strongest people in the world carry scars. Not physical scars alone. Emotional scars. Mental scars. Spiritual scars. Scars from battles nobody else saw. Scars from nights when they questioned everything. Scars from losses they thought they would never recover from. Yet those scars often become the source of their wisdom. Their pain becomes their teacher. Their struggles become their strength. Their failures become their education. One reason pain feels overwhelming is because people assume it will last forever. When heartbreak arrives, they believe they will never heal. When failure arrives, they believe they will never succeed. When loss arrives, they believe happiness will never return. Yet history repeatedly proves otherwise. Human beings are remarkably resilient. You have survived challenges before. You have endured difficult seasons before. You have recovered from disappointments before. The fact that you are here right now is evidence of your resilience. There were moments in your past when you doubted your ability to continue. Yet somehow you continued. There were situations that seemed impossible. Yet somehow you survived. There were days you thought would break you. Yet somehow you found the strength to move forward. The Stoics understood that resilience is built one challenge at a time. Every obstacle overcome increases your confidence. Every setback survived increases your strength. Every painful lesson expands your wisdom. Over time, these experiences create a person who can remain calm in situations that once caused panic. A person who can endure hardships that once seemed unbearable. A person who can face uncertainty without losing hope. Marcus Aurelius often reminded himself that external events cannot truly harm character unless we allow them to. Circumstances may damage possessions. They may affect reputation. They may influence comfort. But character remains under our control. This is where true power exists. The world can take many things from you. It can take opportunities. It can take money. It can take status. It can even take relationships. But it cannot take your ability to choose your response. That choice remains yours. And within that choice lies incredible freedom. Think about the individuals throughout history who inspired generations. Many endured enormous suffering. Many faced rejection. Many experienced loss. Many encountered obstacles that would have discouraged ordinary people. Yet they continued. Their greatness was not created by comfort. Their greatness was revealed through adversity. The same possibility exists within you. You may not realize it yet. You may still be in the middle of your storm. You may still be carrying pain that feels overwhelming. You may still be questioning whether things will ever improve. But storms do not last forever. Difficult seasons eventually pass. Pain changes. Circumstances evolve. And people grow. The person who emerges from hardship is often stronger than the person who entered it. One day, you may look back on your current struggles and see them differently. You may realize they taught you patience. You may realize they taught you gratitude. You may realize they taught you courage. You may realize they prepared you for opportunities that would have overwhelmed your former self. This realization does not erase the pain, but it gives the pain meaning. And meaning transforms suffering. The Stoics believe that human beings can endure extraordinary challenges when they understand the purpose behind them. When pain serves a purpose, it becomes easier to bear. When struggle contributes to growth, it becomes easier to accept. When hardship creates wisdom, it becomes easier to appreciate. This does not mean you should seek suffering unnecessarily. Stoicism is not about loving pain. It is about accepting pain when it arrives and using it wisely. It is about refusing to waste difficult experiences. It is about transforming adversity into strength. It is about turning obstacles into opportunities. Every challenge you face contains a choice. You can allow pain to make you bitter. Or you can allow pain to make you better. You can allow hardship to weaken you. Or you can allow hardship to strengthen you. You can allow failure to stop you. Or you can allow failure to teach you. The choice belongs to you. That choice always belongs to you. As you move forward, remember this powerful Stoic truth. Your mind becomes stronger every time it overcomes fear. Your body becomes stronger every time it overcomes resistance. Your heart becomes stronger every time it overcomes pain. Growth demands a price. Transformation demands a price. Greatness demands a price. Pain is often part of that price. But the reward is worth it. The reward is resilience. The reward is wisdom. The reward is confidence. The reward is inner peace. The reward is becoming the person you were always capable of being. So when life becomes difficult, do not immediately assume something has gone wrong. Perhaps life is strengthening you. Perhaps life is preparing you. Perhaps life is revealing strengths you never knew existed. Stand firm. Remain patient. Trust the process. Keep moving forward. Because every challenge you survive is rebuilding your mind. Every obstacle you overcome is strengthening your body. Every wound you heal from is rebuilding your heart. And one day, you will realize that the pain you feared most became the foundation of the extraordinary person you eventually became. Before you leave, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications for more Stoic wisdom, motivation, and life-changing lessons. Join our growing community of people committed to discipline, resilience, and self-mastery. Remember, your struggles are not the end of your story. They are the beginning of your transformation. Stay strong, stay focused, and keep moving forward.